Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Public Speaking. And this is an online class. I am John Burks, and I will be your online instructor for this class. And I want to go over a couple things that I think are going to be important for you to be successful in this course. And these are very important, and I hope you pay close attention to them. Please understand before you start this course, I like for you to do things the way that I want you to do them. You may want to do things your way, but I want you to do things my way. And since I'm the instructor, I will get my way. So let's have a lot of fun with this. And if you can do things in a timely fashion, we'll have no problems. So I thought we'd start off right now looking at a little overview of Canvas, because Canvas is where you're going to do a majority of the things for this class. So this is your Canvas page right here. And as you can see, it has everything that you will need. I have this currently in the student vision, so or student view. This little bar right here will not be on there when you're there. But a couple things that I think that are important. One, you need to read this section right here. Very important to read this section. This kind of gives you an overview of kind of what this presentation is. But the main thing I want you to take from this video is that I want you to work ahead. I want you to, you can submit things before the deadline. A deadline means it's the last time you can do it. If you're working ahead in this class, you're okay in my book. I love that. I think it's great. So make sure you're working ahead, and you'll hear that echoed over and over in this course. Each week, as we kind of go through, I will have announcements. And you can go here, click on this little button right here, and each week you're going to be able to see announcements. We're not going to be able to see any right now because the announcements won't start until the class, actually the day before the class starts. But you'll be able to see those announcements, and you can keep up with those. And each week there will be new announcements to kind of remind you about things that are coming up. So check those announcements. Those are really important. Also, this course, of course, has a book. And the book is located right here in the bookshelf. And when you go to the book, you'll click on right there, and this is the textbook that you'll use. You'll need the textbook because this is an online class, so you won't have a lot of direct instruction from me. So you'll have to use a lot of the textbook, so that's where you'll find it. In order to use the online access code for your book, that's this little thing right here. So when I tell you to go to My Labs and you don't have a Pearson account and you have to load your Pearson account in there for your Pearson book, this right here, this little bad boy right there, that is going to be your code. So make sure that you use that code. That's very important. As we're kind of going through, there's another video that kind of starts up. That'll go through the speech requirements, and the speech requirements are very important. I've noticed that there's a lot of people that never watch that video, and I fail them. I gave a lot of people 26s and 23s over the summer because they did not follow the speech requirements. And one of the most important things in speech requirements is that you've got to go right here into My Labs and Mastering, and you're going to need to set up your account. If you don't have a Pearson account, you will need to set one up, and you'll need to be going into My Labs and making sure you have that. And the next video that you have that I'll have up for you is how to load your speech, and that's really important. But this is where you're going to do that. I want you to understand, I will not accept any speeches by email, and I will not accept any speeches if you try to come in my office and show me your phone or show me your computer. I'm not doing that. This is an online course. You are required to submit that speech through My Labs and Mastering, and if you don't do that, you will receive a 0. That's it. Over and done with. So make sure that you do that. It's very, very important. Now, as for the speech itself, when you go back and you're watching that video, one of the hot things that's going to highlight, since this is public speaking, you're going to have some public. So you don't have to actually go out in public. Some people did that over the summer, but you're going to have an audience. And so you're going to have at least 5 adults. And one of the things in this little video that it shows you is that you're going to have 5 adults, and those 5 adults need to be alive. Obviously, that'd be kind of weird if they weren't. But they need to have adults, and they need no kids. Please make sure if you're in your house that the fire alarm is not going off, that the TV's off, that people are paying attention. These are not long speeches, so hopefully they can pay attention for that. I need to be able to see you. I need to be able to hear you, and if I can't see or hear you, like if you're in the dark, and then that doesn't work. These are not. There may be one assignment where you just get to talk directly into the camera. But all of the speeches that are these over here, the introduction speech, the personal narrative speech, the informative and the persuasion speech, and the toast are going to require an audience. So you have to have at least 5 people. If you don't have 5 people, here's the drill. It's 10 points per person. So if you're just talking into the computer like I'm doing right now, then it's going to cost you 50 points. And I'll tell you right now, if you're just talking into the computer, you're probably not going to get all the other points as well. So right there, you're already at a 50. So that's an F. So that's pretty simple math. I'm a guy out of arts and letters, so I don't do a lot of math. And when I do math, it's usually through a computer, so through statistics. So the idea is that, I'm going to keep this really simple. This is not a hard class. You just got to follow the rules. You got to do the things that are important and do the things that I ask you to do. Now, as for the other material that are in this class, you can kind of scroll down here, and you'll notice that this is a little course summary. It has a course calendar. This kind of is a breakdown and shows you each week what's going to be due each week, and you can go all the way down to the bottom and see from the beginning to the end. And just kind of looking at this first thing, this right off the bat, this class starts like on a Monday, and then you're going to have stuff that's due right then. So watch these deadlines. Deadlines are important. Make sure you follow the deadlines. And these are the deadlines that I'm looking for. If you don't meet the deadline, you get a 0. Do you understand? That's it. 0. Don't email me. Don't call me and go, oh, well, I got into the class late. These are the deadlines. These are what were set. This is how it is. If you don't get it, it's a 0. And to translate that for you, a 0 is an F. And it doesn't calculate well into your average. But you probably already know that. So work ahead. Look at this. Do them in advance. There's some discussion boards that are in here that are really easy. As for discussion boards, I don't ask you to fill out a whole bunch of stuff. I just want you to really answer the question. So answer the question, do what you have to do, and make sure you do it in a timely fashion. But don't be late. I'll shake my finger, which is really wrong to do, but don't be late. Okay, so the syllabus for the course is right here. If you click on this little hyperlink right here, you'll be able to find it. You can read through it. Syllabus is really important. It reiterates a lot of the things that I'm going to discuss right now in this video, but you definitely want to go back through and read the syllabus, because guess what? There actually is going to be a syllabus quiz. It's not added yet, but there will be a syllabus test that you'll take that first week. So make sure you take that, and it will be added soon. Also, there's some quizzes that are on here. You can go through modules. I like the modules because you can work through each of the modules, and they kind of show you exactly what to do through each time. So it says broken down by week 1, week 2. But again, you can work ahead. Work ahead. That's the only thing that you can't work ahead on. You can't take the midterm early. You can't take the final early. You got to take those during the windows that are allocated. But you can do all the other work ahead of time. Again, don't wait for the deadline. Key here, don't wait for the deadline. If you don't want to work through the modules, which is kind of silly, but if you don't want to work through the modules, you can just go straight to quizzes and just work down the quizzes. I don't suggest you doing that. I suggest that you work them through the modules, but it's totally up to you. If you go here to this file section, in the file section, this has a lot of breakdown stuff. It has for example, if you want to see examples of outlines, you can find those here. If you want to see presentations, so let's say, for example, you want to see the presentations that are associated with Test 1. You click on that, and these are some PowerPoints and presentations that are associated with Test 1, and you can look through those. And the ones for Test 2 that are in here too. Now, for this class, it's a little different. You guys are going to be done in a midterm and a final. So Test 1 and Test 2 are actually a combination. And I probably will update that as we kind of go through. And then you can see reviews for the tests that are on here as well. They give you on there, and you can combine Test 1 and Test 2 for the midterm, and then, of course, for the final that's there. The class is, when it comes to the final, it's comprehensive, so make sure that you're following that. And as for the speech assignments, you can see breakdowns for each of those that are in here. When you're looking for deadlines for assignments, if, for example, you're going through and you're reading something and saying, oh, it said that this is due on a Tuesday, it's kind of weird. The thing that you should always look back or default back to is you should always look back to this course summary page. What is on the course summary page is what will be enforced. So make sure you follow this course summary page. So for example, your introduction speech, so looking through here, perusing, your introduction speech for this class is going to be due here as we kind of come through. Let's see, that's personal narrative speech. Introduction speech is going to be due on February the 8th. Friday, February the 8th. That's the deadline. Now, if you want to turn it in early, that's great. Now, when it comes to giving speeches, here's a little suggestion that I have. If you get a group of people together, why not record 2 speeches? Why not record the introduction speech, be prepared for it, do the introduction speech, stop your video, then record the personal narrative speech. You can submit them both at the same time. There's no stopping you in doing that. You have the ability to do that. But you've got them there, and you can do 2 speeches at one time. It just makes sense, people. It makes sense. If you want to do all of them, you could do that. Now, they can't be all submitted under one thing. They got to be submitted separately. But, I'm sure you're a little savvy. I mean, you're taking an online class. You can do a little editing there. As for editing, though, once you start to give the speech, I don't want you stopping it. I want the speech to run through consecutively. So if you start your introduction speech, you're not allowed to start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. That doesn't count. I won't grade that. I will actually give you a 0, and based on whatever you've done to that point. So make sure you can't tweak the video, but you can record multiple speeches. So if you want to record the introduction speech and the personal narrative speech, that's fine. They just need to be put in the separate assignments, and I'm okay with that. So let's see, what else do I have on my list? There is attendance that is associated with this class, and attendance will work right here where you see these things that say, like little discussion boards that say, for example, your first attendance assignment is, what is your favorite movie? And then most of them have attendance out to the side. So make sure that you do those, and those are really important. You can answer all those in advance and be present for the whole course, but make sure that, and those, like, for example, when I say, what's your favorite movie? Like, my favorite movie is Jaws. So I would just put, my favorite movie is Jaws, and the reason I like this movie is because I think it's really cool. It has a lot of good cinematography. It was one of Steven Spielberg's first movies, and I really enjoyed it. And that's it. That's all you got to write down in the blog, or in the discussion board. So that is basically it. Make sure you take the pre-test. Make sure you take the syllabus test that I will add. If you have any questions, you can email me through Canvas, and I'll be happy to get back to you in a timely fashion. If you want to know the communication practices, you can look on here in the oral communication online syllabus, and that will give you a breakdown of the timeline of when I will respond to you. But other than that, I think that's it. Let's have a great semester. You guys do the things that you have to do, and then remember, please beat the deadline.